I just witnessed a crow attack a hawk. I came up here and I always grab the crow caller in case they start crowing. I can call back, and it must have saw me because it crowed. And right when I did it back, a hawk came flying out of the field, and the crow went after it. Of course, by the time I get the camera out, nothing's going on. All right, so I gotta move Miss Daisy, and the farther we get from this unit here, this charger, the more challenges it's posing. It's I'll give you an example. When I set this whole thing up, Julia wasn't gonna have gardens here. She was just gonna have them here. So I lined everything up with this corner being the northwest corner, if you will. And now everything's got to go over to that corner and down. It's got to go over to the northeast corner and down. So I'm losing, what is it, like 50 feet of wire distance. And it's causing me to use 2 reels for about maybe like 20 feet of cable, wire rather. You can see I got the whole reel just hanging there because it's all excess. So I want to figure out, I know I can make it shorter. I'm just trying to see what I can do while I got the power on. It's going to be a project. I feel the whole thing is going to be a pretty big project. So what I'll do is just turn the camera off, and because I'm going to do some walking around, and when I get things figured out, I'll bring you guys back. So I think I got something figured out. I already got it marked out. I think I might make it a smidge bigger. But let me do some quick rearranging, and then I'll put the wire up, and we'll get ready to move Daisy. Lickety split. So she's moved for the most part. She broke her shelter. I gotta figure something else more robust. That's a word I seem to have to use a lot around Daisy, is robust. So I gotta break down the old pen now, so let's go over and do that. This is my least favorite part because a lot of bending over, constantly bending over. Okay, so the girls the girls, not for a few more days, but the girl, Daisy, is all set up in here. She broke the frame on her little shelter, but as you see, it kind of stands on its own, and really, she just needs something that creates some shade. She likes to sleep in the rain and get muddy and everything else. She just needs to be out of the sun every so often. But a little trickier of a move. Like I said, each time I get farther, I have to worry about combining two lines, two spools of fencing, and it just creates some planning issues for me. I always spend like time scratching my head going, what am I doing? But it's all about her, Miss Daisy. She's happy, and that's why we do it. Keep her happy. Happy and healthy, really. So this is what it looks like afterwards. Well trampled and rooted up, and just, it looks like a mess in general, but probably in a day or so it'll dry up enough I can rake it back with the tractor, and then I'll just leave it alone and let let it grow back. And as it rains, it'll smooth out, and over the course of 2 or 3 months, it'll level itself off quite a bit. But it's basically a blank canvas. If I had a prairie mix of seed, I would apply it right now, and then maybe throw some hay on top of it as well. But I don't have any seeds, so what's in the ground will come back up. It's a lot of fescue, wild onion, ribwort plantain. That's kind of bad. I don't know if it's bad, but where the ribwort plantain grows, not much else grows. It's kind of like how you see dandelions growing out of a sidewalk, just the cracking. Like, how does it do it? That's ribwort plantain for you. You're like, how's it growing there? In fact, I'll do a little video later of what we have in our grasses. We got a nice mix of grasses and weeds and just ground cover in general. But I am going to go have lunch for now, so we'll talk to you guys in a bit. So I thought this was a good opportunity to show you guys the swales and how much water's still in them following a day's worth of rain. So this is on the side of a hill, and it normally would all just run downhill to that little creek. But because of these swales, it captures the water and it captures a lot of the soil runoff, so I don't lose as much soil. And then it takes days to trickle into the mounds and keeps them irrigated for days on end. So it's high pollen right now. You can see these yellow masses. That's pollen that's gathering on the surface of the water and collecting. We have some in that pond as well, but you see on the shoreline how much pollen built up. Doesn't bother me too bad. I mean, I sneeze every so often, but I think it's more related to the material being in my nostrils versus me being allergic to it. So it's a crow attacking a hawk. This is why I want to make friends with the crows, because they'll get rid of the hawks. He's chasing it all over. There was 2 of them chasing. Now it's just one. Okay, good afternoon, folks. It's after lunch. I took a little walk. I'm up in the pasture right by Daisy. Actually, Daisy's laying right here in front of me. But I took a walk around and tried to take an inventory of what species we have as far as plant and grasses go. And I came up with about 15, 12 of which I wrote down, 13 of which I wrote down. 12 of which I wrote down. So, it was pretty interesting because in areas that I thought looked really good and from a relatively close range, 25 feet, it looked like a single type of grass. And then as I got closer, I could see that it wasn't. It was a multi-species grass going on. What did I come up with? So I did over by the swales, and I did right over here in this far pasture, and then I just kind of walked around the other parts of the pasture and looked. Everywhere has these species. It just some had more of it and others had less of it. So curled leaf dock, common chickweed, red dead nettle, common vetch, dandelion, smooth meadowgrass, fescue, garlic penny press, white clover, red clover, ribwort plantain, common violet, wild garlic. It is 13. Gee, I gotta go back to school on my math and my counting. But so an animal taking a bite into that type of salad, I'm thinking that's good stuff, right? You know, that much diversity. Oh, goldenrod. I forgot to write goldenrod down because I found some of that. Goldenrod, I don't know about for pigs eating it, but I know birds and bees and things of that nature love it. But that's it. I mean, it's certainly a worthwhile thing to just take 20 minutes, a half hour, walk around and identify as many as you can. And if you can't, use your phone app to identify them. There's all kinds of different species type apps that help you determine what type of grasses and plants you're looking at and things like that. And just take an inventory, see what you got. And then what I'll probably do later on is I got these, they're all written down here in my notebook. While I'm sitting on the computer, I can go through Google, tell me more about red clover, tell me more about white clover, tell me more about the common violet. And I can learn, well, geez, this is a good plant. Keep your animal away from this plant, things like that. I think everything I read off is perfectly fine. I don't think we have any plants growing in the pastures that are poisonous to the animals. I don't think we do. But that is all. I just thought I'd share that with you. And seeing that I didn't have much of a video today because I had to move Daisy this morning, I thought it was worthwhile to add a little extra. So, all right, folks, thanks for watching and have a great day.